Boneless ribeye steaks, $19.99 per pound. Whole red ripe seedless watermelons, $14.99 each. Freshly baked hamburger or hot dog rolls, $3.99 for a package of 8. Select varieties of 59-ounce cartons of Minute Maid punch drinks, $3.99. New 7.5-ounce box Bubby's Hawaiian Mushi Premium Ice Cream, $8.49 for select varieties. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more Superheroes holiday specials.
And you're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, June 11th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, 2 men robbed a local takeout restaurant of cash this morning around 11 a.m. today. 2 men wearing dark-colored helmets entered Granny's Kitchen on North Shore Road in Pembroke. One of the suspects pointed an unknown object covered in a red cloth at a female employee and demanded money. Both suspects are then understood to have made good their escape on a motorcycle with a quantity of cash. There were no reported injuries, and officers conducted a search of the area for the culprits. Any witnesses or members of the public with relevant information are asked to call the main police telephone number at 295-0011 or the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-8477 as soon as possible. In other news, the country could stand to save millions of dollars by addressing traumas experienced by people in the community. This news comes ahead of the second Bermuda ACEs conference hosted by the Family Center and the Bermuda Health Council. The BHEC has been collecting data on adverse childhood experiences in Bermuda and will present preliminary findings on Friday. Jasmine Patterson reports.
A cross-section of the island will gather for the second 2-day ACEs conference. The original American ACEs study in the late 90s sought to find out how potentially traumatic events can have negative and lasting effects on health and well-being.
That study was to look at why people leave successful therapies for chronic disease, essentially, and they have had good outcomes, and yet they don't stay. They don't continue through and essentially see better impact for chronic disease. And what was found is that most of the people that were leaving the study actually had had these adverse childhood experiences, including family dysfunction, experienced child sexual abuse, and so that really led to this kind of push for having a larger study to understand perhaps there's more here than just saying mental health or behavioral changes is something that we need to look at.
On Friday, Tara Hines will focus on the numbers that will help understand the economics of ACEs in Bermuda.
It's an interesting association that we're seeing because we're not suggesting that an adverse childhood experience causes any of these conditions, chronic or otherwise, but it's more so being able to see that somebody who's experiencing this compounding trauma is going to be more likely to experience continued health issues that manifest physically in adulthood.
The aim of the study is to create a comprehensive overview of Bermuda's risk factors that will shed light on costs.
Over the next 10 years, we're looking at an increase of $26 million from diabetes alone, for example. Diabetes, we know as well, medical and behavioral interventions really are the best. And as we've seen, adverse childhood experiences have a higher association to diabetes as one of the chronic diseases, the more adverse childhood experiences someone has experienced. So we essentially would be looking at putting a dent in $26 million, which would be shared across the entirety of the public. And we would see that across claims expenditure. We would see that in every industry for anyone who's employed or pays into the health system.
Ms. Hines will present preliminary data collected so far over the first year of the Bermuda ACEs study.
One of, I think, the most interesting trends that we're starting to see that hasn't really been reported in other countries is the impact of community trauma in Bermuda. And so essentially what that is it's pointing to people who are reporting on experiences that they've seen or heard and not necessarily directly experienced, and it includes impact from things like road traffic collisions, gunshots, a lot of more of the violent characteristics diagnostics where it's not a direct involvement. So that's one avenue that we're seeing in terms of community trauma.
It's the hope the country will prioritize addressing childhood trauma, early detection, and treatment. Keynote speakers will be featured on both days, those specializing in racial trauma and other topics. You can register online by visiting the Family Center website or ptix.bm. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. And please note, everyone, the public is advised that due to a Bermuda Industrial Union meeting being held tomorrow, June the 12th at 10:30 a.m., there will be a disruption of several government offices. The meeting is anticipated to last for around 2 hours and is being held to ratify a collective bargaining agreement. Effective services include Department of Public Transportation bus service interruption from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and ferry service interruption from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Ministry of Public Works minor disruption to garbage collection in the central parishes also impacted the Ministry of Home Affairs dog wardens, Ministry of Education custodians and store personnel, and Dame Marjorie Bean Hope Academy bus drivers and crossing guards, as well as the Bermuda Post Office mail delivery. However, efforts are being made to minimize the effect to the public as much as possible. Coming up, OBA leader Craig Canadier calls for action at scandal-hit Department of Child and Family Services. A new member for the BTA, the latest weather news and more. Stay with us.
When you try the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, you'll feel how it helps you sleep cooler. So no more nocturnal baking or polar ice cap air conditioner mode. Because the Tempur-Pedic Breeze transfers heat away from your body. So you sleep cool all night long. Experience the superior cooling comfort of the Tempur-Pedic Breeze today.
Enjoy the world's finest beds at Furniture Walk, 12 Harvey Road, Paget, 292-5209.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up. Avoid the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It don't matter. Well, no matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Welcome back. Author, journalist, and communications specialist Rosemary Jones has been appointed Director of Communications and Strategy at the Bermuda Tourism Authority. She will join the BTA officially on July the 1st and in her role will report to Kevin Dallas. She is responsible for the implementation, ongoing review, and evolution of the island's National Tourism Plan, coordinating and managing multiple departmental teams and outside stakeholders. Ms. Jones will also be responsible for communications with local media and industry stakeholders, among other duties. Ms. Jones replaced Glenn Jones, who was promoted to the Chief Experience Development Officer. Ms. Jones will leave her position as the Head of Communications and Marketing at the Bermuda Business Development Agency, which she held for 4 years. In other news, the OBA leader Craig Canadier has called for heads to roll within the scandal-hit Department of Child and Family Services. The department has faced allegations that department staff abused and neglected vulnerable young people. More recently, it was the Royal Gazette that reported on claims that vulnerable children were being dumped abroad without legal representation. Mr. Canadier, who is the opposition leader, told the House of Assembly Friday night that he had been following the newspaper's investigation and he felt the government should make changes among the department's management. And we'll have that piece in just a few minutes. Turning to weather news, warm and humid is the theme of the week. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast has been brought to us by the folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. We have had a couple of spotty showers within about a dozen miles of Bermuda over the course of the day today, and we're being influenced by an area of high pressure that is generally going to be centered to our southeast over the next few days. So it's kind of acting as somewhat of a pump, delivering some flow from the south and west, driving the bulk of the rain showers in the western Atlantic from southwest to northeast. You can see that there are a few exceptions, though, as the center of high pressure may be a little bit west of it, where it will eventually reside. So some of the showers near us have actually been drifting southeast with time. But as we get deeper into time, we're going to be more influenced by that southwest flow, and temperatures are going to be up. We'll have warm nights. Right now we're at 79 degrees. Humidity is at 81%. Wind from the south, near the ground at least, at 10 knots. And we have water temps around 77. On the inside, we are dealing with calm water, flat up to about a foot. On the outside, 2 to 4 footers. So no marine or boating advisories. That's good news. We recently had a high tide at 4:40. Coming up, we have low tide at 10:50 tonight. Tomorrow, early morning high tide, then a midday low tide at 11:15. So boating weather looks pretty good. It'll be a humid night. Tonight we'll get down to around 74, but there will be warmer nights that follow as it is becoming more humid, and that juicy air will not allow us to really cool down too much. As the dew point rises, the temperature to which we could fall at night also rises. We can see these spotty little showers out there, and in the big picture, high pressure is going to set up shop to the southeast, and there you can see the influence of that southwest breeze tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, still with some isolated showers somewhere nearby, but the bulk of the day is going to be dry. Humid, partly sunny out there, 82 for your high, mid-70s tomorrow night. Down into the Caribbean we go with some spotty showers and even a thunderstorm into Jamaica, Barbados, scattered showers, Trinidad, scattered showers into the windwards, and no tropical threats. It looks quiet out there thanks to some wind shear, thanks to some dry Saharan air off to the east and southeast of our area as well. So no tropical threats at this point. That's good news. Into Toronto, beautiful day up there. Into parts of southern Ontario, Canada. Into New York City, 74. A pleasant day on our Wednesday. Boston looks nice, 74 as well. Atlanta, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures down a bit, though. In fact, every bit as cool in Atlanta as it is in Boston. Miami, scattered showers and storms. There's the heat. And in London, we have some showers and temperatures a little more spring-like at 64. Perhaps a few degrees below normal on this June day. Now, while there could be a stray shower, as Futurecast showed on Wednesday evening, possibly even Thursday, any of these showers are going to be really slim. Things begin to change, though, Friday and Friday evening into Friday night with a much more robust chance of some rain. And you can see readings are going to be into the low to mid-70s out there into the weekend. But it's going to be pretty warm out there with a few spots even warmer than 75 for lows. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
And returning to our previous story, the OBA leader Craig Cannonier calling for heads to roll within the scandal-hit Department of Child and Family Services. The department has faced allegations that department staff abused and neglected vulnerable young people. More recently, it was the Royal Gazette that reported on claims that vulnerable children were being dumped abroad without legal representation. Mr. Cannonier, who is the opposition leader, told the House of Assembly on Friday night that he had been following the newspaper's investigations and felt the government should make changes among the department's management.
And one of those realities, Mr. Speaker, and I've been speaking to this for some time now, and I'm sure that everyone in this House of Assembly does not appreciate when they open up the paper and they once again see that we are having challenges within the Department of Child and Family Services, and that we see where people, individuals, private citizens are speaking out about some of the conduct and some of the things that were going on within this ministry. And I believe that we have been patient. And we have been sitting and saying something needs to happen really to get this particular department on its feet. And I believe at this time, after having looked at the newspaper just now, it's extremely challenging. And I'm encouraging this government, and it is my opinion, that there needs to be a shuffle in the management within that department. Something needs to happen. We continue to see week after week, directors, supervisors, whatever you want to call it. There needs to be a shuffle there because people are extremely concerned. We now see that not only are the kids within the service complaining. We've seen nonprofit organizations that assist, concerned about what is going on, and I believe that our government really needs to take a close look at exactly what is happening there, because it is evident that week after week after week, we are continuing to see the revelations of more and more things. What would be appreciated is that if there isn't going to be some real addressing of the leadership there, that we hear exactly what is going on and what is being done.
And you're watching the Tuesday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Well, dozens of students at the Francis Patton Primary School have completed a unique program designed to give them the foundation of coding, which is the computer language behind software and apps. The program would not have been possible without the sponsorship of the Hamilton Insurance Group. Tarai Trott spoke with coding instructor Chloe Barron of the group Connect Tech, who stressed coding is just about information technology skills, but also about learning a whole new language.
So coding is a language that we use to speak to computers and get them to do pretty basic tasks for what we're doing with the students, but it's how a lot of our technology works, the backbone of our society at the moment. So if we have any applications, your phones run off of coding languages, so everything inside of there, someone has sat down on a computer, written out scripts, and it goes line by line telling the computer or the application to do what it needs to do.
So the programs didn't come from heaven, a manna from heaven?
No, they didn't. Someone put time into it.
Well, why introduce it at such a young age?
So the concepts that we're using, are teaching the children, they're going to be fundamental in our future workforce. Coding is going to be used in a lot of jobs, and so we want to get the logic into the curriculum now so that the students are really used to it and they're not afraid to do coding when they get older.
What type of skills would they take away in terms of their capabilities? Will they, for example, know how to write their own program right away?
No, not for the level that we're doing for the primary schools. What they're getting is we used a program that was developed by MIT, and it's block-based coding. So it's kind of like they're using Lego, stacking blocks of code together. They're using an event which signals the code to start. They'll have an if-then statement which assesses a condition.
And the classes appear to be a hit among the youngsters who said they hope to use their skills to develop video games and apps for smartphones.
What did you learn in your coding classes?
I learned how to code. I learned a good site to learn how to code if you're new at it.
Okay. So lots of computers.
Yeah. I plan to make more games and animations on Scratch.
And it wasn't hard, it was quite easy, and it's a great experience. I want to be able to make more complex games and make them so that lots of other people around the world can see them.
And we wish them well. The program funded by the Hamilton Insurance Group has so far reached more than 300 P5 and P6 students in 18 primary schools. Hamilton Insurance Group says it is all part of its investment in youth digital literacy on the island. In other news, you've probably been there. You're at the beach playing with the kids or taking a walk when something catches your eye. It's blue, you bend over, curious, dig it out, brush it off, the sand, only to realize it's a bottle cap or string or a toothbrush. The list goes on and on. There are more than 5 trillion, with a T, pieces of plastic in our oceans, and some washes up on our shores. A new exhibit at the Bermuda Society of the Arts is hoping to raise awareness of the plastic problem, and Tony Waterman got a preview.
The number of flip-flops that we find
is ridiculous. The number of toothbrushes, all the hardcore plastics that are more dense, things like bottle caps are huge. They're everywhere. The flip-flop body shape here, I believe the peachy ones at the back were once a potted plant pot. You can see here there's a dent stick. They've got a hair clip. There's a little army man here. Some of the older trash has bite marks in it, and you just try to not think about what animal has been harmed by our pollution and by our carelessness. I want people to recognize that this is a home problem too, that this is actually a really big deal here in Bermuda, and that even though we don't necessarily cause as much as we think we do, that we need to make better choices and that we need to be aware and we need to help out the environment as best we can. $5 trillion pieces of plastic in our oceans. Hard to even fathom. Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news after the break. Stay with us.
Cal is back. He's been hearing about open internet and wonders if it applies to Bermuda. The short answer is yes. Open internet or net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers, referred to as ISPs, must provide access to all lawful websites and online data equally, regardless of whether you're posting pictures to Instagram, watching your favorite sports team, or even streaming movies from Netflix. Without open internet, ISPs could influence what you see and how quickly you see it by speeding up some services and slowing down or even blocking your access to legal content or apps. The regulatory authority is developing rules for open internet to protect consumers by making it clear to ISPs what they can and cannot do with internet traffic. And we'd like your input. Just visit rab.bm and submit your feedback by clicking on the public consultation for open internet link between May 20th and June 28th. Make sure your voice is heard.
You can count on us.
Save $1 on imported iceberg lettuce, only $1.99 each. Save $2 on fresh Atlantic salmon fillets, $16.99 per pound. Save $2.40 on select varieties of ShopRite lactose-free milk, only $3.99 for a 64-ounce carton. Package 4 double rolls, Charmin Ultra Soft or Strong Toilet Tissue, $4.99. Save $3 on Essentia purified water, $11.49 for a 6-pack of 1-liter bottles. Have a happy and safe Heroes Day holiday from the Marketplace family.
You can count on us.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
Enjoy memorable moments brought to you by ZipX.
Here's our very own Earl Basin with tonight's sports package.
According to the Minister of Sport, Levita Fogo, government is recognizing a certain amount of sports due to others failing to fulfill the requirements of filling out documentation as per the Department of Youth and Sports.
So deadline was put in place so that by April 1st, any sporting bodies which needed or wanted to be recognized as a national sports governing body had to fill out the requisite paperwork saying such. And after that time, those bodies that did not do so, it doesn't prevent them from doing so, but it means that in this current year, they're not recognized as a national sports governing body under the association.
Butterfield finished 7th competing in the 2019 Ironman Boulder. Butterfield would cross the line at a time of 8 hours, 44 minutes, and 8 seconds. Butterfield clocked a time of 54:03 on the swim. He would then cover the bike course in the time of 4 hours, 22 minutes, and 45 seconds, and then would close out with a run time of 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 20 seconds. Sakari Famous represented the University of Georgia at the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Austin, Texas. Freshman Famous was tied for 38th on the nation's high jump seasonal performance list, and she completed her first season tied for 21st with a height of 1.70 meters or 5 feet 7 inches. Meanwhile, Dej Minus has competed in a few meets as he's preparing for the World University Games that will take place in Napoli, Italy, July 8th through the 13th, and the Pan Am Games July 26th through August 11th. Minus competed in the Music City Distance Carnival in Nashville, Tennessee, and placed 5th in his men's 800-meter heat in a time of 1:49:31. He also competed in the 1500-meter at the Battle Road Track Club Twilight Series at Bentley University. Minus clocked a winning personal best time of 3:48:03. Mazai Simmons received the Notts County Football Club Official Supporters Association Recognition Trophy. Simmons had been selected by the academy coaches for his efforts during the season. Amari Eben was in action for Cardiff Premier First Team in the Welsh Cricket Cup 2019 against Newbridge Cricket Club. Newbridge Cricket Club won the toss and elected to bat. They would score 185 for 9 in their 40 overs. Eben, fielding at mid-off, took 2 catches in the field. Eben assisted his teammates with a 3-wicket victory as Cardiff replied, scoring 186 for 7 in 39.3 overs. Eben opened the innings scoring 44 off of 52 deliveries, hitting 7 fours. Patrick Nisbet and Jamaica Dizembeek produced yet another double clear round in the 6-year-old 2 phases class, competing in the Holsat International Horse Jumping event in Belgium. Nisbet finished 19th, clocking a clear first phase time of 65:48, and then they clocked a clear second round phase time of 33:88. The Bermuda Snooker Association sent a team of 3 players to represent Bermuda at the International Snooker League tournament held in Canada. Warwick's Stephen Bremer, Sands, Paul Fedden, and the Royal Artillery Association's Kyle Williams competed in the team event, singles handicap, Don Thomas handicap, doubles handicap, and singles scratch competitions. Bremer brought home the singles scratch runner-up trophy, which was a great achievement in such a strong field of players. In the Don Thomas handicap trophy event, Fedden took home the runners-up trophy. The Bermuda inline hockey season is underway, and today we bring you the current stats and standings. The Gloucester Rangers are undefeated thus far and have 6 points, while the London Knights and Windsor Spitfires both have 3 points. The Strathaway Rockets are winless. Christopher Jackson from the Gloucester Rangers leads the league in points with 9. He also is the league-leading goal scorer with 6. 2 players, Richard Campbell from the Windsor Spitfires and Jeremy Esty from the Gloucester Rangers, both have 5 points. With a 3.50 percentage goal against, Dave McPhee from the Gloucester Rangers leads the goalkeeping department. 2 goalkeepers have a 4.00 average a game in Kyle Henkins from the Windsor Spitfires and Derek Farmer from the London Knights. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
That's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Tuesday evening with us, everyone. Good night.